Hello friends and enemies, welcome to or back to Happy For Now. I'm here today with a fun video. This is my winter TBR of sorts. I only read holiday books for about 2 months. Sometimes a little into January, it really just depends on my mood. But I have a big list of books I would like to read. Some of them are wintry, some of them are Hanukkah, some of them are Christmassy, all the things. I will not get to all of these books. This is 100% more books than I will manage to read, even if it's all I read, because I will burn out if I read all of these too quickly. But I do have a good bit of plans to read a lot of these that I'm listing, and I'm really excited and I'm ready to settle into the holiday mood, so to speak. I am not including any bonkers books here because I don't want to give away what my potential theme is this year for the bonkers vlog on Christmas Day. You can take a guess in the comments, but I will not tell you if you are right or wrong. So let's talk about it. I like to read like kind of close to theme, I guess, sometimes in my mood reading. I'm like a mood reader who also kind of reads with the season but doesn't. Like, I may pick up a wintry book in the middle of summer. It just depends, you know? I do love when I can like tie things together with what's going on in my life or in the world. So first up, holiday book wise, we have our Thanksgiving books, which I have one that I have not read, and that is Cinnamon and Gold by Lady Marie. She's at her ex's mom's house, and the cousin, like the cousin of the ex that she hooked up with, is there. Yes, please. I need this. I love the idea of a bit of a messy Thanksgiving book. I really do. And I think this sounds so fun and delightful. I feel like I've read a lot of the other Thanksgiving books. So there's that. I really don't have a ton of options here. So this is my one and only, I think. Maybe I'll stumble across one or two more between now and then, but we'll see. I'm also not looking for like actual Thanksgiving themes. I'm just looking for like romance at the dinner table, I guess. Then I have the same thing for wintry reads in general. I have a book that was on my radar last year. I didn't get to it, and I'm really excited to pick it up this year, and that is Snowed In with the Demon. I just think this looks really cute. I love a monster romance. I love a demon romance. I love a snowed in romance. So this is just like the perfect blend for me of all the things. All right, let's talk about our 2 Hanukkah books I have. When I talk about Hanukkah books, I do want to acknowledge that I'm very aware that Hanukkah is not actually that big of a deal for the Jewish community. So I try not to read like a ton of Hanukkah books, but I like to try and pick up 1 or 2 every year. I don't always manage it. There's a limited option here. I do read regular like books by Jewish authors that are not centered around their holidays as well. So there's that. But I do have 2 that are on my TBR. One that's been on my TBR for way too long. So the goal is to definitely read it this year. And if I don't get to the other one I'm listing, it'll go on next year's TBR. So we have Miracles and Menorahs by Stacey Agdern. This has been on my TBR since it came out. I'm embarrassed. I am embarrassed at how long this has been on my TBR. So we're going to read it. And there's a theme with these 2, which I think, I kind of like this theme. I think it's really funny and I think it's cute. So in Miracles and Menorahs, she's working the town's Hanukkah festival. And she wants to bring like this giant menorah and do all these things. Well, the budget doesn't allow for the giant menorah, but there is this famous metal sculptor guy, and it's their romance, and I think that sounds really cute. Also, this cover is precious in my opinion. I really like this cover, so I'm hoping to actually finally read this one. Again, it's one that has been on my TBR for ages, and I just keep not picking up, not for a good reason. Like, I just will not pick it up. So when it's Hanukkah time this year, I might read this, or before, who knows. I don't have to, like I said, I like to read these things around the time of the thing. It doesn't have to be exactly on par on when. Now the other one, this is a new release this year, and it's called Love You Latke. This is my favorite food. One of my favorite foods, okay? Like, oh my god. Listen. I've been eating these since I was in elementary school in South Florida. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. My mom makes them for me when I come home, usually at the holidays. Like, I love them. So I'm very excited for Love You Latke. She's on the Vermont tourist board, and or a cafe owner. And she like puts a call out on the internet about like what she's trying to do, and learns the truth, which is that she assumed she was the only Jewish person in town. She's not. This guy who keeps bothering her at her cafe is also Jewish. And I just think it sounds really cute and fun, and like what a fun setup. Like, again, I think like the town like trying to do things and that bringing them together is just a really fun setup for a small town romance around the holidays especially. Are you ready for a giant Christmas list? A lot of these are novellas, so I do see myself reading a lot of them, but we'll see. We'll see how I manage. Okay, first up we have Being Merry. This is a sapphic romance. I read the first one in the series. I really enjoyed it. I have not read book 2, so maybe I need to do that at some point, but I'm gonna read this one because it is holiday themed and sapphic. Like, that's all I need. I believe the girl puts up her sister's friend for the holiday season, and is kind of a Grinchy type. Then we have How My Neighbor Stole Christmas. This is one where I've never read Megan Quinn. I've never ever read Megan Quinn. A lot of people love Megan Quinn. I've just never picked her up. Her books generally like are whatever. For me, I mean, I'm sure they're good. I'm not saying they're bad. None of them have like struck me in the way where like I need to read that. Well, I think this one I need to read. One, there's a candy cane scene on, I think I read it on TikTok today actually in my scroll. And I think I need to read it with more context. The other thing is, I love the setup of this in a way. I just think it sounds really funny. This is an all-year Christmas town. He hides in his house all the time because he hates it, but then his nemesis moves in next door. And she has like an aunt named Cindy, and they both enter a competition. I just think it sounds fun. It sounds silly. Then we have Santa's Helper. This is, he's Santa and he needs a Mrs. Claus. And it's a novella. A lot of these will be novellas because here's the key. I love a holiday novella. I really do. So I'm sure these are ones that I'll be reading very quickly. Then we have Santa's Comin' to Town. That's the title. That is all I need to say about that book, I think, here. I think we all understand why I had to put that on my TBR. Then we have Sacked and Slayed. So this one, so she works as a Christmas elf at the mall, gets notes from Klaus. And she ends up kidnapped or in his sack, so to speak. And I gotta know. It's a dark romance author, so I think it'll be a fun time. Then I have From Cocktails to Sleigh Bells. She falls and is saved by a handsome stranger, like walking down the street. And that stranger happens to be Santa. So, what more do you need? Then we have Christmas in Spite of You. This is about someone who's like working to buy a business. And he ends up sharing a space with someone and they have to like get along basically, / kind of work together. And I just think that sounds really cute and fun. Then we have Love Lights. This is an MM Mothman set around the holidays. That's all I need. Mothman, you had me. You had me at Mothman. Make the season bright. This is a sapphic ex-fiance's second chance romance. I love the cover. I love the gray hair wrap. I'm very excited to see how this is. Then we have A Festive Feud by Maren Moore. So I read the first book when it came out, like the year after it came out, which is like Mistletoe Bet. This is book 2 in that series and book 3 comes out at the end of November. And I'm really, really excited for it. So I'd like to pick this up. This one follows 2 people whose families are rivals and they end up in jail after an argument. Their punishment is having to plan a Christmas party together. And I think that sounds great. I think what I love about Christmas books really lean into the bonkers, in my opinion. So that's always a fun time. I also have Christmas with the Horned God by Evita Weiss. I will be reading that this year. I'm very excited for it. I just didn't get to it last year in time. We also have A Sing Family Christmas by Nisha Sharma. I love Nisha's books. I'm very excited to pick this one up. I think it'll be a fun time. It's also not super long, I believe, when I looked at it. And then last we have Corrupted by Krampus. This one comes out like next week. I'm intrigued. I like the cover. I'm intrigued. I don't really know like anything about it. And I don't like to know a ton of stuff about these books when I go into them, but again, Mothman, Krampus, things like that, y'all know. I'm sold. I'm in. I want to read it. Thank you. Thank you. Please and thank you. So yeah, that's just some of my TBR. That's none of the bonkers. So yeah, if you want to give me any that you think I should try and pick up, any you think I should prioritize, down in the comments, it'd be great. If you have guesses for the bonkers theme this year, let me know in the comments. If you don't want to do any of that, leave me a holiday related emoji of your choice. So you could do Christmas tree, you could do Hanukkah related, you could do a snowflake for winter, whatever you want. I know we're not quite in winter yet, but it's coming very soon. Very, very soon. So yeah, you can do all of that down below. I will have links to all these books for you down there, links to my friend anywhere on the internet that I am, and I will catch y'all in just a few days. Bye.
Already packing, come with me. I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see the world in action, what we can be. Life with no distractions, we'll get away. This is what we waited.